As you can see, Fun Spot Atlanta has given us all a monster of a roller coaster that has a 99.9% chance of becoming one of your favorite coasters that you've ever been on. But you might still be wondering, does Arie Force One really live up to the hype? And the answer to that question is simply yes. And here are 10 reasons why Arie Force One is now my second favorite RMC out of 11 that I've been on, and my third favorite coaster overall out of the 425 that I've been lucky enough to ride. And stay tuned, because later in the video I'm going to share a secret with you that's going to guarantee you the best ride ever on Arie Force One. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss that. Starting things off with pacing. If pacing is your thing, then Arie Force One will fly up your rankings. There isn't even one dead spot within the 3,400 feet of track, and much like Iron Gwazi, which is my favorite coaster overall, RMC crafted just about a perfect layout. From the moment that you drop off the 154 foot tall lift hill, you have around 42 seconds till the train reaches the brake run. But here's what's insane. That is during the earlier hours when the park is open. Come evening time, and if it's really warm out, the train will then clock in at around 36 seconds from top of lift to the brake run. Yes, a whole 6 seconds faster. Again, the pacing on Arie Force One is phenomenal. One of the things that I personally love when it comes to riding a roller coaster is the airtime, and Arie Force One is filled with just that. Fun Spot Atlanta's coaster offers ejector airtime, hanging airtime, and even sideways airtime. Literally every hill the ride offers, you are out of your seat. And what I'm about to say might be bold, but out of all the RMCs here in America, Arie Force One offers the best airtime overall. Now, it might not offer as much as Steel Vengeance, but what Arie Force One does offers is just perfect and insane. Now it's time to talk about the Raven Trust Dive. This unique element is really good when you're sitting on the right side of the train, better known as the blue side. And if you are riding on the left-hand side of the train, the red side, this element is that much better. While not the most intense element, it really delivers due to the insane visuals of all the metal supports around you as the train is flipping upside down and diving towards the ground. And in my opinion, the perfect way to start off Arie Force One, and once the train leaves this element, the coaster then takes on a whole new different personality. The stall. I love this stall. After experiencing it 35 different times and playing paper rock scissors during this element, it really made me realize that this is my favorite inversion that I've ever experienced. I love everything about these stalls, and the one on Arie Force One seems to go on forever. But what I love most about it is you're not flipping right side up until the very last moment. Another fun thing that I really enjoy about Arie Force One is how the first part of the layout is parallel to the road. It is so much fun turning your head during the stall and watching the cars drive right by you. Hands down, this stall is one of the best coaster experiences that you're ever going to have. The Outward Bank Airtime Hill. I thought no coaster would ever outdo the Outward Bank turns on Steel Vengeance. Then I rode Iron Gwazi, and its Outward Bank turn just hits differently. By far was superior to Steel Vengeance. And after my first 10 rides or so on Arie Force One, I did not think the Outward Bank Hill was better than those two rides. But after my evening and night rides, it had me sold. Seriously, sit on the right side, the blue side, for the best Outward Bank experience that you'll ever have. And what I love is that you see the Ferris wheel in the distance, and you think you're gonna fly into the brake run, and then at the very last moment, and I mean the very last moment, the track banks to the left and you enter the next element. Now, if you're like me and you enjoy wearing coaster gear when you visit a park, be sure to check out the official Theme Park Predictions coaster gear store, where you're going to find comfortable and affordable merch designed by myself. And you can find a link for it in the description of this video. Now let's talk about the double up. The first hill will get you out of your seat, but for me, it's all about the second hill. I like to call it the Maverick Airtime Hill, but it's only better. This is the best airtime moment that I've ever experienced on any RMC coaster. It is that good, especially in the front of the train. And my friend, Dr. Coaster, who has been on Arie Force One thousands of times it seems like, would probably agree with me. And by the way, be sure to check out his channel as well. And as the train leaves that element, it enters arguably the best part of the entire layout, the arcade 0G roll. I have experienced a ton of different inversions, but this one by far is the most insane one I've ever experienced. The train is flying through this element, and since it's built on top of the arcade, you have the metal supports all around you as you zip through it. While I really do love the Mosasaurus roll on Velocicoaster, the arcade 0G roll on Arie Force One is right up there with it. It's perfection. Now I have to take a second and shout out Coaster Bros for capturing this amazing drone footage of Arie Force One, so be sure to check them out on YouTube for some great coaster content. Now let's get back to what makes Arie Force One so good, the transition after the first 0G roll. I personally do not think Arie Force One's turnaround gets talked about enough. I love the mini outward banked airtime hill followed by the zippy transition into the turnaround. And just like most elements on Arie Force One, my appreciation really increased for this segment after every ride I got on this awesome coaster. The barrel roll. Again, the pacing of the layout that leads into this element is just a thing of beauty, and the inversion is so good. The train is really hauling through this inversion, which makes it even so much better. And this is the perfect way to lead into the grand airtime finale that Arie Force One offers. The ending. The last 5 airtime hills offer some crazy ejector airtime, and the pacing does not let up. Seriously, it's a wild experience and makes Arie Force One, in my opinion, offer a better ending than Steel Vengeance. Overall, Fun Spot Atlanta has a winner on their hands because Arie Force One is a fantastic ride and the hype is really real. This coaster is so re-rideable, so you're going to want to ride it a bunch of times. So I recommend purchasing the all-day wristband so you can get as many rides on it as you can, and for $12 a ride, you save money after your 3rd ride on this beast. Now the secret to getting the perfect ride on Arie Force One is getting a fun spot late afternoon and riding this coaster until park close. Seriously, block out 4 to 6 hours of your day to come ride this coaster and marathon it, because you will not regret it, because evening and night rides on Arie Force One is really where this coaster skyrocketed up my rankings, and I'm not the only one who thinks that. If you ride Arie Force One in the morning, just like every other coaster, you haven't given it a chance to warm up yet. So do yourself a favor and plan a trip to Fun Spot Atlanta in the evening. So now I want to know, have you been on Arie Force One yet? If so, what are your thoughts? Do you prefer front or the back? Because for me, I actually like the front better than the back, which is odd because most RMCs I prefer to ride in the back. However, Arie Force One in the front is just much better in my opinion than it is in the back. But really, there's no bad seat on this roller coaster, and that's the best thing about it. So be sure to let me know your thoughts on Arie Force One in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.